What a week it's been, y'all. I've been having a week. It's been one of those weeks. Guys, welcome to 90 Day the Melanated Way. I'm Linda Antwi. We are going to do some housekeeping first and foremost. Shout out to Michelle over there holding it down for our Facebook group as a moderator. Hey, Raydella. Hey, Patty. Okay, support the show. I say that all the time. Support the show. Many ways you can support the show. Wherever you're watching, you can hit that thumbs up, the like. That helps the show a lot. Bottom of your screen, you see where it's scrolling. If you feel led, your support allows the show to continue. I do want to shout out Olivia, Vanessa, Trisha, Sandra, Carol, Trina, Danielle, Rebecca, Marianne, Nia, Raydella, Linda, Brianna, Crystal, Nicole, Amanda, Jaleesa, Donna over at Anchor FM, and Judy and Beth. Without your support over at Patreon, these shows wouldn't happen. And I have a great surprise. If you guys don't know, we've jumped into Love and After Lockup. We got an exclusive with Deontay, and that will be posted this weekend for our Patreon subscribers. And y'all, I let him have it. And he told me that he's been watching my reviews of him on the show, and he says, don't take it easy on him. So he's fine with me talking crazy and bringing the truth. So we will continue to do that with Deontay. Hey, Dr. Jaleesa. Hey, girl. Hey. If you're watching on YouTube, you guys know that we have super chat, super stickers available. So feel free. Let's jump into Darcey and Stacey. Season 2, episode 3, Digging Up the Past. Now, let me just tell you this first and foremost, okay? And I can't wait. Well, should I wait a minute? No, I'm just going to start here because I was so stuck on this, you guys. The producers. Okay, so here's why I'm stuck on this, okay? I'm all about extensions. Put an extension in all day, every day. I'm about that life, okay? What I don't understand is that we watched a whole episode of these two finally getting off of lockdown, finally like getting ready and getting pretty and getting glammed up. They spent half the day, and if you guys watch the extras on Discovery Plus, they spent 10 hours. Yes, 10 hours getting their hair done. And this is what the producers do to them. Look at that track in the back of her head. Like, y'all couldn't say cut for 5 seconds and be like, hey, let's fix. Like, who's doing hair and makeup? How y'all gonna do Stacey dirty like that? And even Darcey's hair was not like 100. How y'all gonna do these girls like that? I just was like, so, and it wasn't just this. It was like this scene where Stacey was gonna put on her hat, and then when they were bike riding, y'all, this is a dirty, dirty, dirty trickster move, I'll tell you. But I'm gonna leave that up for a minute because I'm gonna get to that as well. So. Show opens up with Darcey and Georgi packing for their trip to DC. Darcey's super excited that she's going to meet his friends, learn more about him. He's talking about how, he had a really good talk with the dad and he's really looking forward to his future and focusing on his jobs. I was like, what job? What job are you going to be focusing on? Like, it's great to say, hey, yeah, I'm going to get a job, but what job? So if you're a masseuse, and now you're no longer a masseuse, are you going back to school? Do you have a trade? Hey, Angela. Aw, Angela said, hello, made a live, been a fan since AfterBuzz days. Oh, thank you for being here, girl. What is his trade? I need to know that. I need to know what exactly it is he's going to be doing, right? So, like, what are tangible things that you can be from a masseuse? I guess you could, you could start like a salon or a spa, a day spa, right? You could become an entrepreneur and maybe he can start at home making like lotions and potions and like sell those things online and then save enough money to open it. There you go. There you go. I just solved this problem because I was just trying to think, what is he going to do for work? So then we flip over to Stacey and Florian, and here's something that I've never heard of before. So I guess if you don't have a real honeymoon, you have what they call a mini moon, and I've never heard that before. So they didn't get to have a full-on honeymoon. So they're excited about going to DC for their mini moon. And here is where I was stuck with the extensions again. I was like, she's getting ready. Her hubby's not telling her that her hair's all like, someone needs to stand up for these ladies. You can't just throw in extensions and no one tell you your extensions are looking crazy. Hey, Quinita. Hey, girl. Hey, from Germany. Hey, girl. Hey, gorgeous. So they're getting ready and then they're going out to this SUV that they are a part of. And listen, you guys, I have so much tea about this SUV. So, you know, it was like a big, one of those long extended XL SUVs. They've come out and I was like, how long are they going to be in DC or Virginia? Because Stacey has like 30 bags. Florian has like another 20. Darcey has another 50. And the only person that only has like a couple of bags is the person that's supposed to be moving, Georgi. I was like, where are all those bags going to go? And why do you have so many of them? Isn't this like a weekend vacation? Are you staying for a month? There were so many bags. But fun fact, if you guys watch the extras, and I think I'm going to pop that up too, because I'm just shocked by this, you guys. So if you guys were watching this show on Discovery Plus, they do extra scenes, and they talk about what happened behind the scenes, on the scenes. And this, yes, is Darcey and Stacey. I'm still trying to figure out what exactly they've done because they look completely different. And I don't know if this is part of that makeover that's coming down in the season. But the hair's different. The cheeks are different. The eyes are different. Like everything, their boobies look bigger. Like, I don't know. They just look, do they look the same to you? And I've met these two many a times and they look totally different. Anyhow, the fun fact that I was going to tell you from the extras is that Darcey is quite short. She's probably like 5 foot and she didn't know how to drive that SUV. So her and her producer practice so that before they film that scene, she practiced over and over and over again. And that's why you see her driving all crazy. And she said that when she was driving, the steering wheel was shaking, so it was making her nervous, and that's why she couldn't focus on anything but driving, not checking her mirrors or anything. She was just driving. And then the other thing that was a fun fact from behind the scenes is one of the 4 was dropping fart bombs with the windows all rolled up, so they were all dying from fart bombs. So there's a lot of stuff that you guys should watch the extras to find out, because it's quite fascinating, y'all. It's quite fascinating. So they're driving. We find out another secret from Georgi. Apparently, the bank picked up his car because he wasn't making payments, so it got repossessed. And he's like, yeah, I know credit scores are important, but what can you do? Well, what you can do is try to make an arrangement or pay your bill. You're brand new. And this is the other thing that I didn't realize. He's been here for 7 years or 10 years, you guys. 10 years? 10 years. And you're going to go ahead and wreck your credit score just like that? Because you're hanging out with Darcey and Darcey's paying for everything? If Darcey's paying for everything, I'm surprised you didn't ask her to help you pay and make your car payment. Ridiculous. So we find that secret out that he's been keeping from her, and he's getting irritated by the way Darcey's driving, and it was making me nervous too, you guys. Like, she's driving 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock or whatever it is, and not like checking mirrors. When she was on that freeway and she needed to like veer straight and she tried to veer right, and quickly, I didn't see a shoulder check, I didn't see nothing. I just saw her go. And yeah, that would be stressful. So he's moving his stuff out. Darcey's feeling like he's not being honest. And I got to tell you, I feel like there's some big secrets that we don't know about Georgi. And so I don't know, how you get engaged to someone that you don't fully trust and that you don't know anything about. Like, how do you even do that? You should absolutely get to know the person that you say you're going to spend your life with before you spend your life with them. That just makes sense to me. Just saying. But he doesn't tell her things. And I want to talk about this, you guys. So in the live chat, let me know what you think. But he says that he doesn't tell her things because he wants to protect her. And he doesn't want her to worry about him. she has her own problems and issues, and he doesn't open about his problems because complaining to him is a weakness. And in Bulgaria, that's not what they do. They just keep their troubles to themselves. And I was like, okay, first of all, if you're my fiance, you better be telling me everything. Because you know what? Once we sign those documents and what's mine is yours and what yours is mine, guess what? All your shitty credit, that's going to come on me as well. So I'm going to need to know everything. You thinking you're protecting me from what? The only thing that you can be protecting me from is your lies. You're trying to make sure that I don't find out whatever you're hiding. That's the only reason why you wouldn't tell me something. So I thought that was bogus. Hey, Lisa. Michelle says lies. And Patty says hiding his dirty trousers, like he said. Facts. So they get to Virginia, looks like a nice hotel. And the second day they wake up, Florian and Stacey are going to go tandem bike riding while Darcey and Georgi go to pick up his stuff. Now, here's the thing. They're so dramatic, you guys. I don't know if you've ever been tandem biking. It really is fun. It's not that hard. But Stacey felt like she was like going to fall off the bike. They were going too fast. All the things. And I thought it was hilarious. And then when she went to camera and said, you know, if we fell, there was emergency. Do you know what the number is? And when Florian said, what, 199 or 119? She's like, I guess I would be lying, bleeding in the streets. You don't know 911. Hilarious to me. So Darcey's concerned that she's never met any of Georgi's friends, and they're meeting later after they move for drinks at the hotel bar. They're driving over to his place, and he's already annoyed with her. And when they get there, she finds out not until she gets there that she has to wait in the car. Now, let me tell you this, you guys. I'm not about to have driven you all the way from Connecticut to DC for you to tell me that I'm waiting in the car. And I get it's COVID. And he said the COVID roommates don't want to have people in the house, all the things. And then she's like jumping up and down saying she has to pee. Let me tell you this. I'm putting on my gloves and my mask and I'll social distance, but I'm not about to stand outside so that I don't see what the hell's going on inside, where you live, where your room was, all your stuff. And then we drove all the way here for you to have 3 boxes. They couldn't have FedExed, UPS those 3 boxes to you. We drove all the way here for 3 boxes. You've lived there for 10 years. In a room with roommates. First of all, A, how old are you? And B, why do you only have 3 boxes of stuff? How is that possible? And those 3 boxes were probably just clothes. So was it really worth the trip? I'm going to tell you, if I was the driver, nope. I would have gone inside. B, I would have gone inside. And C, I would have been pissed that I didn't go inside. And when I see you with your 3 boxes, we did all this for that? Oh, no. Yes, Misha says super suspect, 100% suspect, 100% suspect. So he goes in, he's got the gloves on, the masks on, a couple of the boxes he says he's given to Goodwill. Again, that could have been done from afar. And here's the thing. So did your roommates box your stuff up? Because how were they? You just walked in and 5 seconds later, all your shit is packed and ready to go. I thought it was like a real moving day, like you're moving your stuff. So they pre-boxed for you. Those are nice roommates. At least let's meet them and say thank you very much for boxing up my shit. Doesn't make sense to me. So Darcey feels like she can't trust him. Yeah, Darcey, go with your gut instinct. I always tell you guys that, go with your gut instinct. You're about to marry this man, where let's not even talk about you got engaged to someone who's already still married. I don't know how that works, but now you don't trust him. You need to absolutely go with your gut. Lori said a woman kicked him out. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what he was hiding. So meanwhile, Stacey and Florian are having like a romantic lunch day. And, you know, they're cheersing, champagne's involved. They want to cheers to their marriage, love, happiness, success, family. And speaking of family, she really wants to have kids. She wants to talk about kids. She wants to talk about their future. And she wants to really talk to a doctor. Now, Florian says it's in God's hands. We've heard him say this many a time, is in God's hand. But when she said, but God has created doctors for a reason, those are facts. Those are facts. So I'm starting to feel like maybe it's not her and maybe it's him, and he hasn't told her something about himself, because why is he so against it? And I know he says in the end, okay, he wants to make her happy, so he finally agrees to go with her. But I bet you he's going for her alone. Like, he's not going to get himself tested. And that is not a good look as far as I'm concerned. That is not a good look as far as I'm concerned. I think there's just a lot of secrets in both of these relationships. Like, a lot of secrets in these relationships. I think that even though Florian and Stacey have been together longer, again, how did the baby question not come up before you married him? How did that happen? If you truly wanted babies, you need to have that conversation before you married this man. Bizarre. Anyways, we get this kind of I felt like it was filler content, but Eniko, Aspen, their friends Jazz and Lex, they're making a cookie cake, and Grandpa Mike comes in, loves the fact that he gets to spend quality time with the grandkids, because he really feels like he missed out a lot on his own kids because he was working internationally. Now, here's the other thing that I have questions about, you guys. So here's my question. Eniko and Aspen live at Darcey's dad, so they live at their grandpa's house full time. They're now going to move in with Darcey and Georgi in a one bedroom and share it. And I actually don't think that they're going to be moving in full time. I think that that's just where they're going to stay when they visit their mom. And so why don't Eniko and Aspen and why don't they live with their mom? I'm very confused by that. Why don't they live with their mom? Why is it, not that it's more important, those are my words, but is it more important to find a bigger place that you can live in with your fiance who doesn't work and you don't trust? Or would it be more important to find a secure place that you can live with your children? I'm just trying to figure out what that whole situation is, but I'm going to get down to the bottom of it. Hey, C Cruz. Hey, girl. Hey. So Anika, it's her birthday coming up. Anika wants a car for her birthday. She's 16. I wouldn't be surprised if Papa Mike gets her a car for her birthday. Now, you guys, I'm going to bring this up because I clearly have an issue about it and I can't stop talking about it. But they made this cookie cake and I guess it was a party, right? But the cookie cake they're eating it in bed on paper plates. And you know how I feel about paper plates. You made this whole nice cake, get yourself some dishware and just, anyhow, I won't get sidetracked again. So Stacey's really going in on Georgi having a secret life, and she just really feels like he's hiding something and she wants to get down to the bottom of it. She really does feel like Darcey is his sugar mama. Now, I'm going to pop this up as well, you guys, because I don't think some of you guys know this, but In Touch did a whole thing about the top 10 earners from TLC in the 90-day franchise, and Darcey is up there. And so Darcey's worth $2 million. Did y'all know that? Darcey has appeared on 90 Day Fiancé a whooping 4 times and even got her own spinoff with her twin sister, Stacey. The blonde beauty's net worth is an estimated $2 million, according to Screen Rant, because she has multiple ventures under her belt. She owns a production company, 11th Entertainment, a clothing line with her sister called House of 11, and posts about various partnerships on social media. So if you don't know, now you know. Darcey's worth a lot. So when they're talking about, perhaps Georgi coming at her as a sugar mama and Georgi not working and Georgi stacking cash whenever he has it, it's quite possible, you guys. It's quite possible that that's the case, because she's got the money. She's got the money. So Stacey's also concerned that she doesn't see Georgi being very intimate towards Darcey, like no hugs, no kisses. Like, what is that about? Like, is he using you? And that's a question. What do y'all think? Do you think that Georgi is using Darcey? Let me know in the comments if you're watching the after show, and let me know in the live chat what you guys think right now. If you think that Georgi is using Darcey for her money. So they're meeting Georgi's friends. Michelle says, yes. They're meeting Amos, Ivo, and Teresa. And Lori says 100. And so we're meeting a few of his friends. And Georgi, we find out from his friend Amos that he's always had big dreams and big goals, and he thinks big, and he's got big plans, but he never shares what he exactly is going to be doing, and he never shares like how he's going to do it. And so they always think it's different. Like, he doesn't share often. He moves in silence. His friends don't know anything about his life in Connecticut. And I think that that's really telling as well, you guys. If you're in a relationship with someone and you don't tell any of your friends or family about your relationship, why is that? It's because you're probably hiding something. How do your friends who've known you for the 10 years that you've been in America, they don't know anything about you moving to Connecticut, getting engaged, leaving your life in DC to do nothing but to be taken care of? Y'all, if you don't think that's a big red flag, that flag is not even a flag. Like, that's a banner in the air. Red banner. But hey, if you think it means like there's an air of mystery to him, not if that's supposed to be your husband, your future husband. Patty said, Georgi demanded that shabby coat on their birthday. Facts. Yep. And she also says those friends know less than Darcey. They really do. And that is what's scary. Because even if your friends don't know you, then who knows you? Who knows you? If your friends don't know you, your fiance doesn't know you, who exactly knows you? So they all sit down. Now, I personally think that this wasn't the time. Like, it was clear that Stacey and Darcey had an agenda. They had an agenda. They wanted to ask questions, but you guys didn't even let the drinks land to the table. Y'all sat down and started grilling Georgi, making the friends feel uncomfortable. I felt uncomfortable for them because it was like, we're about to attack you right now, immediately. Some of this could have been done in the drive-in. Some of it could have been done in private. I do think that you should absolutely give someone the opportunity to tell you something if you have a question in private before you throw all your business out there. But that's not how it went. She wanted to know if the friends knew that he was still legally married when he proposed to Darcey. Of course they didn't, because they didn't even know he moved to Connecticut. So how would they know that? They didn't know that he was even engaged until right in this minute. So that was a silly question to me. They're just finding out right now. So no, they didn't know. And then we find out that his friends the girl Teresa has known him for 4 years and never met his ex. Not ever. And not only has she never met his ex, he's never mentioned her in conversation. Never mentioned the ex in conversation. Ever? How are you married, hanging out with your friends, and your ex never comes along? Your spouse never comes along and you never mention your spouse? It's super weird. It's super weird. It's super suspect. It's like, no bueno. Okay. So she asked that. Then she's like, let's pop it all out there. Let's put it all on the table. Are you in this relationship for life? And he's like, don't show my dirty pants to my friends. So you're admitting that you have dirt, because you wouldn't say my dirty pants. Like, you're saying, don't share my dirt with my friends because my friends don't know my dirt. And I think he was scared that somewhere in there he'd be outed for whatever shade that he's doing, because it's clear he's doing something shady. How can no one know anything about him? How? How can no one know anything about this guy? And how, Darcey, are you going to marry this guy when it's clear that no one knows anything about him? And he has bad credit now. So he says he's in it because he loves Darcey. He says he doesn't know if Darcey has money. You don't know if Darcey has money? Georgi, you don't pay a single bill because you don't work, and you don't know if Darcey has money. Who paid the down payment for the apartment you're living in? Who buys the food? Who drives you around? Who just bought you, like I think it was Patty that just said, the fur jacket on her birthday because you wanted it? Where do you think that money is coming from? So how can you say that you don't know if Darcey has money? You clearly know because you don't pay for shit. Money has to come from somewhere. Dominique says his friends don't know anything at all. Like, I'm shady. So he says, yeah, he doesn't know that if Darcey has money, but he says he cares about personality. He cares about respect. He cares about connection, and he cares about love. Do you, though? Do you? Because it seems to me every 5 seconds, you're upset with her for some reason, and you don't share anything with her. So if you really care about connection and respect, I would think that you would respect Darcey enough to tell her what's going on with your life. And how can you connect with someone if you don't share with them? That doesn't make sense. If I don't know anything about you, how are we growing closer? Because we don't know anything about each other. Dasha says, what? We don't even know anything about her, and we know she has money. What a scammer. Friends are starting to feel uncomfortable. Darcey feels like she's being taken advantage of. She feels like, yeah, maybe you are looking at me like I'm your sugar mama. I pay for everything. I've always paid for everything since we've been together. And she's starting to feel resentment. Well, yeah, you are. But Darcey, no one told you to go ahead and get engaged to someone who was still married. Like, that should have been a sign to you. Like, hey, let me slow my roll. And if I have questions, let me ask those questions before I go ahead and say, yes, I'm going to marry you because you proposed and it seemed very romantic because it was on a boat. Where did he get the money for the ring? That's a question I have. It's a real question. Where did he get? Because the ring, if you guys saw, if you remember from last season, that ring was huge. So if he has no money and has no job, where did that come from? Questions. I have lots of questions. So Darcey feels like she's being taken advantage of. And then Georgi tries to throw the shade towards Florian. He says, well, with you and Stacey, who pays for everything? Stacey pays for everything. And then Florian freaks out. He's like, I haven't been in the US for 10 years. I just got here, which is true, you guys. He doesn't even have his green card yet, so he can't work. But what I will say, what Florian is doing that we haven't seen Georgi do, is he wants to be a model. So he's doing the steps that he needs to take. He's creating his model book. He's trying to like build connections so that when he can work, he can like run out the gate and start working. So again, what are you doing, Mr.? I'm not working because I was a masseuse. So now I'm just kind of kicking it. So Florian gets pissed, says, your wife is not happy, freaks out and says, you can't turn this on me. Like, you're the one that has a wife that's unhappy with you, and you're the one that's not working, and you've been here for 10 years. And if you think about it, being in the United States for 10 years and you only have 3 boxes of stuff, it's weird. It's weird. Then Georgi has the audacity to say that he quit his job so that he can move to Connecticut to be with Darcey. What wasn't it COVID that shut you down? Because my understanding is as long as you have a table, you can be a masseuse anywhere. So I don't think it was because Darcey said, hey, come and live with me. in my dad's house, and then I'll rent an apartment, and then the two of us can move into the apartment after we stop living with my dad, because my dad pays for everything. And then I'll pay for everything in the apartment. And then let's move to a bigger apartment and you still not work and I'll just pay more bills. I don't think that that's what's happened. Because I think that you could absolutely just take your little travel table, off you go, right? But COVID happened, right? We're in a pandemic. So, you know, that couldn't happen. But I'm just trying to think, what is it that he's going to do now? And you can't blame Darcey for you going to Connecticut. Because I have a feeling that even if there wasn't a pandemic, you would have moved to Connecticut anyways, because you're living for free. He says he could have stayed in DC and continued to work. Well, if you could have stayed in DC and worked, then you should have. You had a car, you could just do the commute. Because these little BS excuses, they're just not adding up. 2 and 2 is not making 4, my friend. And then he throws this more shade in. He says that he doesn't have his, quote, daddy to support him. Well, you don't have your daddy, but what you do have is a sugar mama right here. And we're about to learn a whole lot more about that next episode. So Florian just continues to say, you know, your wife is not happy, bro. Your wife is not happy, bro. And Georgi says, well, if she's not happy, she can walk away. And of course, that was Darcey's cue, guys, to get up, tell Stacey to get up and be out of there. We're out of here. She's had enough. She feels like she's being taken advantage of. She is not having it at all. So off she goes, and off she goes with Stacey and this bad weave. I'm just so upset with this hair. So Georgi feels embarrassed and uncomfortable. Darcey starts crying. Stacey thinks that Darcey should reach out to his ex. And that if he really loved her, he wouldn't just be sitting there. He would be chasing after her and coming to fix this fight. Now, let me tell you this. Go ahead and reach out to the ex. Because you guys, when I saw that preview of the ex, first of all, didn't know she was a black girl. That's going to be interesting. Second of all, you should have met with her before you got engaged because she's going to give you all the tea. Then we find out that one day she saw him on a sugar mama website. And lo and behold, look who he ends up with, a sugar mama. Not working, hasn't worked since, let's say, the pandemic started. So what, hasn't worked in a year and a half. It's not trying to work, doesn't have a skill to work. So I'm just trying to figure out, Ashley, thank you so much for the Cashapp. You rule. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. I just got the alert right now. It's kind of making sense, you guys. It's kind of making sense to me right now. Think about it. Think about it. You meet this woman. You act like you don't know who she was, right? And if you guys have been watching even before Darcey and Stacey had their spinoff, we met Georgi back then. So everyone, and we knew, apparently he was supposed to be like a masseuse to the stars. And I think I did a show for my AfterBuzz days where I talked about it. And like there's some major R&B singers that he used to be their masseuse. That's a true statement. So he knew who Darcey was, right? Then all of a sudden, you're dating Darcey, right? Maybe you're dating Darcey for the publicity. Maybe some people were saying that wasn't a real relationship. He was just in it to be on TV, yada, yada, yada. And maybe those were his intentions in the beginning. And then he fell for her. He falls for her, finds out how much she's worth, right? Because we popped that up too, right? Finds out how much she's worth and says, cha-ching, $2 million, cha-ching. He's not going to ever have to work. He's never going to have a skill because here's the thing, you guys, and I say this all the time. How you start your relationship is how you're going to end your relationship. You can't support this dude for a year in and year out and year in and year out and year in and year out. And then all of a sudden think that he's going to go get a job when he hasn't had to have a job in years. So how is he going to, he's clearly okay with you wearing the pants in the family and you taking care of him. He's clearly okay with that. So how are you then going to be like, hey, I feel like you're taking advantage of me. Go and get a job. Okay, but what job will I get? What skills do I have? I am a masseuse. So here we are. Here we are. And here we are. And then on the flip side, you guys, Darcey can't be mad because she's not married to him yet. She can easily say, here's the ring back. I wish you well. When you get your shit together, if I'm still available, then let's revisit this. The poor thing to do is go ahead and continue to get married to someone who clearly is not caring. Listen, you guys, he let his car go into repo because he didn't want to burden anybody. Dude, if you had $1,400 sitting in your sock and you were going to give it to Darcey to pay some bills, apparently, allegedly, then why wouldn't you just go ahead and use that $1,400 and put it towards the car so that it doesn't get repoed and then you have bad credit? Because, you know, how do you come back from that as a grown, and you've been here for 10 years. And you guys, I keep talking about that because, like, you've been in America for 10 years and you have 3 boxes of stuff. That's it. What have you been doing for those 10 years? I'm going to need to interview him because I have questions. So we're going to see a lot next episode, I think. I cannot wait to meet the ex-wife. I want to know why she was okay with never meeting his friends. I want to know why she was okay not knowing any. Maybe she does know and we don't know. But maybe those aren't his friends. Maybe he just pretended those were his friends. Like, those are my other masseuse coworker friends, or I don't know, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I've known you for a couple of minutes. I'm going to be in town. Come have drinks with me. Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe they're not the real deal friends. Maybe he's still keeping those friends separate. Either way, the ex is going to spill the tea. Guaranteed, you guys. Guaranteed. Guys, that's the show. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you all for the support. We are going to do news and gossip, but we're going to be doing it tomorrow. So Patreon subscriber, news and gossip tomorrow. And this weekend, don't forget that our Deontay Love After Lockup exclusive will be released to you. And it's a doozy. And tonight's Friday. So Friday's a new episode of Love After Lockup. Everyone else, have an amazing weekend. I will see you guys all right back here on Monday. Bye for now.